Have you ever found yourself avoiding people more and more as you age? Maybe there was a time when you enjoyed social gatherings, loved chatting with friends, and felt energized by being around others. But now, even the thought of certain conversations feels exhausting. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. As we grow older, our priorities shift. We no longer feel the need to tolerate unnecessary drama or engage in meaningless conversations. Our patience for nonsense grows thin, and we begin to see life through the lens of wisdom and experience. Today, we're going to explore 7 key reasons why many people in their 70s and beyond start distancing themselves from certain relationships. By the end of this discussion, you might just realize that your instinct to be more selective about who you spend your time with is not only natural, but also essential for your well-being. Stay with me until the end, because understanding these 7 reasons will not only help you feel at ease with your choices, but it might also give you a newfound appreciation for the wisdom that comes with age. 1. You no longer tolerate superficial conversations. There was a time when small talk was just a part of life, something you did out of courtesy at work, family gatherings, or casual meetups. But as the years go by, you start to realize how little these conversations actually matter. Talking about the weather, the latest celebrity gossip, or idle chatter about things that don't truly affect your life, it all starts to feel like wasted energy. You've spent decades navigating real problems, overcoming challenges, and learning lessons that truly matter. Now, you crave conversations that stimulate your mind, ones that leave you feeling enriched rather than drained. Take Richard, a 73-year-old retired teacher. He was once the life of the party, always up for a good conversation. But now, when he finds himself at social gatherings, he zones out when people start discussing celebrity scandals or complaining about trivial things. He'd much rather stay at home with a good book, take a peaceful walk, or engage in meaningful discussions with someone who shares his interests. And honestly, can you blame him? Time is valuable. You've earned the right to spend it doing things that bring you peace. If that means walking away from conversations that serve no purpose, then so be it. 2. You've learned that not everyone deserves your energy. There was a time when you felt obligated to be polite, to entertain conversations, and to maintain relationships just for the sake of it. Maybe you felt like it was your duty to be there for others even when they never truly reciprocated. But with age, you gain a new perspective. Not everyone deserves your energy. Not every friendship or connection is worth maintaining. Think about it. How many times have you given your time to people who only take and never give? How often have you listened to someone's endless complaints, offered them support and been there for them, only to realize they were never truly there for you? Take Margaret, a 75-year-old retired nurse. She used to be the person everyone called when they needed help. She'd drop everything to lend a hand, offer advice, or simply be a listening ear. But when she needed support, those same people were nowhere to be found. One day she had a realization: if a relationship drains you more than it nurtures you, it's not worth keeping. Now she only surrounds herself with people who genuinely care, and she feels lighter, happier, and at peace. This isn't about being bitter, it's about knowing your worth. When you stop giving your energy to the wrong people, you create space for joy, peace, and meaningful relationships. 3. You value meaningful conversations over mindless chatter. Years ago, you may have tolerated small talk, listening to gossip, nodding along to empty chatter, pretending to be interested in topics that had no real significance. But as you age, you realize your time is too precious to waste on meaningless talk. You crave deep, thought-provoking conversations. ones that nourish your mind and soul. You want to discuss life, wisdom, history, philosophy, and the things that truly matter. You find yourself drawn to discussions that leave you thinking long after they've ended, rather than idle chatter that's forgotten the moment you walk away. Take Robert, a 73-year-old retired engineer. For years, he sat through endless conversations filled with negativity, complaints, and small talk, just to be polite. But one day, he thought to himself, "Why am I still doing this? Why am I wasting my time listening to conversations that bring no value to my life?" From that day forward, he stopped engaging in discussions that drained him and started surrounding himself with people who shared his love for meaningful dialogue. Or, you no longer entertain one-sided relationships. There was a time when you were the one making the effort in relationships. You'd call first, make plans, check in, and try to keep connections alive. But over the years, you've realized you deserve relationships that are mutual. Some people only reach out when they need something. They don't ask how you're doing, they don't check in, and they don't truly care. They only remember you when it's convenient for them. And frankly, you're done with that? Take Helen, a 76-year-old widow. She spent years making an effort, sending holiday cards, calling old friends, always being the one to initiate contact. One day, she decided to stop. She wanted to see who would reach out if she didn't make the first move. And you know what happened? Silence. Days turned into weeks, then months, and not a single person called to check in on her. That was all she needed to know. Now, she only invests her time in real, meaningful connections. Relationships that are built on mutual care and appreciation, and she's never felt more at peace. Number 5, you've lost interest in superficial conversations. There was a time when you could sit through small talk nodding politely as someone went on about the weather, celebrity gossip, or what their neighbor's cousin was up to, but now you have no patience for empty chatter. If a conversation doesn't have depth, meaning, or at least a little heart, you find yourself tuning out. It's not that you don't enjoy talking to people, you do, but you crave real conversations, the kind that leave you thinking long after they're over. You want to talk about life, wisdom, memories, and the lessons that come with age. You want to connect, not just fill the silence with meaningless words. Take Richard, for example. At 73, he started to notice that social gatherings left him feeling drained rather than fulfilled. He realized it was because the conversations felt repetitive, just the same small talk over and over again. So, he made a change. He stopped forcing himself into situations where he had to fake interest and started seeking out people who shared his curiosity about life. The result? He felt lighter, freer, and more at peace with how he spent his time. When you reach this stage, you understand that your energy is precious. You'd rather have one deep, meaningful conversation with someone who truly sees you than a dozen shallow exchanges that leave you feeling empty. And that's a sign of growth. It means you've moved beyond surface-level connections and started valuing quality over quantity. Number 6, you value your solitude more than company. There was a time when being alone might have felt like loneliness, but now it feels like peace. You've come to understand that solitude isn't something to be feared. It's something to be cherished. When you're alone, you're not pretending to be someone you're not. You're not adjusting yourself to fit into someone else's world. You're just you in the purest, most comfortable way possible. Take Eleanor, for instance. At 74, she realized she no longer needed the constant presence of others to feel fulfilled. She had spent decades going to social events. She didn't care for sitting through conversations that didn't interest her and making sure everyone else felt comfortable, even at the cost of her own peace. But one day she asked herself, "Why am I doing this?" That question changed everything. She stopped filling her calendar with social obligations that drained her energy. Instead, she spent more time reading, walking, and enjoying her own thoughts. And guess what? She felt happier than she had in years. Not because she cut people out, but because she stopped forcing interactions that no longer felt right. When you start preferring your own company over being around the wrong people, it's a sign of It means you no longer tolerate relationships that don't add value to your life. It means you've learned that your time, your energy, is worth protecting. And once you understand that, everything changes. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 7. You've stopped seeking approval from others. There was a time when other people's opinions mattered more than they should have. You worried about what they thought of you, whether they liked you, whether you were living up to their expectations. But now that weight has been lifted, you no longer feel the need to prove yourself to anyone. Look at Richard, for example. At 76, he realized something profound. Most people are too busy thinking about themselves to spend much time judging others. For decades, he had tiptoed around family, friends, and colleagues, always trying to be what they wanted him to be. He sacrificed his own preferences, his own voice, just to maintain harmony. But what did it get him? Exhaustion, frustration, and a life that felt like it didn't even belong to him. Then one day he decided he was done. He started addressing the way he wanted, speaking his mind and making decisions based on what was best for him, not what others expected. And you know what happened? Nothing. The world didn't fall apart. People didn't suddenly turn on him. If anything, they respected him more. Because when you carry yourself with confidence, people notice. Now, he's never been more at peace. He no longer second-guesses himself before speaking. He doesn't replay conversations in his head wondering if he said the wrong thing. He's free. And that kind of freedom only comes when you stop seeking approval from people whose opinions don't determine your happiness. If you've reached a point where you no longer bend over backward to please others, you've unlocked something rare. You've stepped into the stage of life where your own voice, your own choices, and your own contentment come first. And that, my friend, is a beautiful place to be. Final thoughts. If you found yourself avoiding people more as you've grown older, you're not alone. It doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It often means you've gained wisdom, clarity, and a deeper sense of self. The people you choose to spend time with now aren't just those who happen to be around. They are the ones who bring value, peace, and authenticity to your life. That's a sign of growth, not isolation. At this stage, life isn't about unnecessary noise, meaningless conversations, or maintaining relationships that drain you. It's about preserving your energy for what truly matters. It's about quality over quantity, deep, fulfilling relationships over shallow interactions. And if that means being more selective, so be it. That's not loneliness. That's maturity. What about you? Do any of these reasons resonate with you? Have you noticed a shift in how you interact with people as you've grown older? Thank you for joining us today. We love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.